I'm Patrick.
This is Will.
And I'm Chris, and we are Guys with Issues. And today, we're taking a break from Green Lantern after the fallout from the Sinestro Corps War, and we are looking at Thor, God of Thunder, as chosen by Will.
Yes.
Coincidentally, also the first thing that I had on our Thor list, if you look at the Excel spreadsheet from a year ago.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
I honestly, hand to heart, I didn't look there. I just looked up.
I know. Nobody ever looks at the list.
I look at the list sometimes.
When you're trying to choose, do you look at the list?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
all that work.
Of course I look at that list.
You're like, it saves me time if
It does.
something's on.
Nice. Good job, Pat.
But
Hey.
that was an excellent curated choice by Will.
Thank you.
So, Banta Man, you going to kick us off? With Banta?
So
Banta.
I guess Friday, my nephew came back from California. He is in the Navy.
Is he the one whose guitar you had?
No,
Oh, okay.
that is my cousin, and he's in the Army.
Oh, I knew it was someone in the service who'd been gone.
Right. And he's still gone, and I still have it.
Well, you are neither one guitar richer or poor.
Right. So it was very nice to see him again.
Yeah?
Yep, he's a big goober. He had a mustache, and he shouldn't have. But, that's his choice.
Hey, it's because he's in the service, and did he watch the new Top Gun?
Because that changed
Probably.
people. After that
Okay.
movie came out,
Mustaches
all
are
kinds
back
of-
in.
No,
They
they're not.
are. Yes.
People want them to
You
be
know,
back
you know what
in.
else is back in?
Mullets.
Yes, and they shouldn't be back in either.
Stashes and mullets.
The 90s are slowly creeping back up on us.
Creepy 90s. Stashes and mullets.
Yeah, they are creepy.
Pretty much.
But anyway.
So that was
did you have-
nice.
You have fun with him?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. An impromptu family gathering. It's pretty good.
So that wasn't actually planned.
Not really, kind of. It was like, hey, we know this 3 weeks out.
That's not really impromptu. 3 weeks out is that's good lead time, right?
I mean, not with a family as big as mine.
Wow. Now he's trying to be like, compare family sizes.
I know, right?
So, had a good time?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Nice. Do anything else? Or is
Well-
that the whole shebang?
The next day, I changed 2 wheel bearings out on my car with my friend Mike.
Ah, yes.
Is this your really long friend?
Yes, he's my really long friend. 12
13.
feet, if
You
I
said
remember
13.
right. Oh, 13 feet.
I think you said 13.
I thought it was 12.
He's 13.
13.
Yeah. It took like 9 hours.
Oof.
One of the wheel bearing housing assemblies would not detach from the car.
It's all seized. It was on there.
It was on there. We
Man.
even went and rented an inline hammer, hooked up to it, and all we did was break the bearing, and the bearing came apart with it.
Wow. See right there, it would have never come off. Didn't even have to change it.
I wasn't worried about it coming off. I was worried about it catching fire.
Well, that's just a feature. People
Is
pay
it?
extra to have special effects put on their cars like that.
All right.
Sure.
That'd be driving down the road. Your wheel wells just like
Burst
blooming.
into flame.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be.
Horrible. Yes.
I was thinking epic.
Okay.
Be exciting for somebody.
So, yeah, we had to get the 20-ton press and take the car apart even more and press it out.
Nice.
We decided on the next one that we wouldn't try so hard, and we just pressed that one out too.
Oh, nice.
So,
Do you have a 20-ton press here?
not here, at my buddy's house. He does that stuff. So he's got all the tools.
He's basically got a home garage, is
Right.
what it is. We have a friend or a former acquaintance.
Wow, he just downgraded him.
He did.
Real hard.
Just downgraded him.
A former friend. Could say that, right?
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Who is quite equipped in that area as well.
Oh my!
I know some guys who just buy the tools though. Have you ever met those? They get like nice welders, nice tools, all this
Yeah.
weird stuff, but they don't actually do anything.
Oh,
Oh,
They
like,
just have them.
yeah, in case somebody else needs it.
or if
That
they
is-
need to do whatever job they were going to do again.
Yeah, like,
I mean, how often do you need a tile cutter if you're not putting in tile all the time?
is this when
That's
you
why
tell
like
us you have
rentals
a-
exist.
You have a tile cutter?
My parents do.
Ah. Well, there are some places, I mean, even like car parts stores, you can get ultimately like free tools.
Right, that's where we get the inline hammer.
I figured.
So it cost me, I think it was $75.
But then when you
rental,
returned
when I
it,
returned
they
it, they
give you
gave me the money back. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
They basically say, we charge you so you don't steal it.
Right. So if you keep it, it just costs you that much money to keep it, and they'll just buy another one.
Yep.
I wonder what an inline hammer costs. Is that a deal? Like,
No, I think it's about right. I don't think they're really
Wow.
making money on it.
No, I'm pretty sure it's just to replace it.
Right.
But you aren't getting a deal because it's used.
Technically.
Although I will say most of the time, the tool quality it's not everybody does that. And so the tools are usually in pretty good shape.
Yeah, the inline hammer we got was pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well.
Nice.
Huh.
And then I know there's something you want to mention on top of this banter.
Well, on Sunday,
Yep, here it comes.
say it.
Christoph came over
Yep,
with his wife.
yep.
Your sister.
AKA my sister. And they tried a Twinkie Wiener sandwich.
Oh,
Yeah. And he was not a fan.
Well, the first bite, he was like, yeah, this isn't too bad because it was mostly hot dog.
Yep.
And then he took the second bite and he was like, yeah, no, I don't like that. My
good
sister
job,
tried
Christoph.
it.
What did she think?
She was like, I mean, it's not horrible, but it's very chemically.
Artificial.
Right.
I could see her picking up on something like
Right.
But at least Christoph tried it twice.
He did.
that.
So
He did
good
try
job,
it twice.
Christoph.
Good job, Christoph. Also, he did talk about it. I did post on the Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So if any of you are wondering what the Twinkie Wiener sandwich looks like, you can see our concoctions.
Wow. He was
He avoided using the word. And that word is wiener.
He did.
He didn't want to say
chose-
you could see our wieners on Facebook.
No.
But he also chose to use concoction.
Ooh, yeah, there you go.
That was the funny wow. I chose that
You
without
did.
thinking that there
You
was a
did.
joke in it.
There was a
And then
100% a joke
Then
in
it ended up a joke.
It was amazing.
That was a pretty good play on words.
It was.
I
I
wish
appreciate
it was.
that.
I wish it was intentional. I wish that had been 100% intentional. But you can see them on our Facebook page, along with the covers that we talked about being similar layouts.
Yes.
I put those up too. And I added a video, the video from YouTube that has the Twinkie Wiener sandwich experiment.
Oh, I need to go watch that.
Yeah, added that.
Neat.
So our Facebook, which is hopping,
It seems to be, yeah.
it does contain the things that we said we would put up. I want everybody to know that at least once a week, if we say we're going to add something, I have been.
Nice.
Also, I do want our listener to know that I did not finish Will's Twinkie Wiener sandwich last week
Ooh, thanks for the update.
because I said, it's okay, Will, I'll finish yours. I'm a dad. Nope. Had the self-control. I was like, I
he
don't
did
need
not
to
do
eat
it.
this. It's such a garbage food. Even though I enjoy the weird taste blend of it, and as did you. It actually was interesting flavor profile wise. Not worth the stupidity of eating another half of one.
No.
So I had self-control.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
And we are
Self-control.
all
I've
proud.
had like 17 days of self-control right now.
Good
we should
job.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Yep. That's my goal. Got to have more days. Anyway.
That should be a good goal to always have more days.
So anyway, I also
Yeah.
after that whole thing, we were going to go to Okinawa, but guess what? It's closed on Sundays,
It is.
and I didn't look it up, and I should have, and that was my fault. Sorry, Christoph.
He didn't get to try those sandwiches.
But
No.
here's the thing. This probably made Patrick a little happy. Because this week, did you see that text I sent you, Will? Did you see what Patrick said this week? Saying,
oh, yeah, you can't have...
Or you can have too much
Oh, yeah,
Okinawa.
You can have too much Okinawa.
I don't
That's
think...
true.
Will, do you believe that's true?
We went twice in 1 week. So the answer
Sure.
to that is no.
No, it truly is, yes.
I don't know.
How many times did you go?
Look,
Or how much did you have?
nobody has ever asked, after I say this sentence, nobody has ever asked me why you can have too much Okinawa.
Oh, so that's
Everybody's
the key.
assuming one thing, but it's not that one thing.
It's expensive.
Yes.
No, that's true. Because Will and I used to eat out at lots of expensive places, and I had to stop because it was being too
It's
expensive.
too
It was.
expensive. So you can have too much Okinawa.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I like that you're like, haha, it wasn't about the food at all.
No, the food's delicious.
But you're right. It can become costly.
Yes.
Yes. And as you mentioned in the last issue, you have a female companion in your life.
Uh-huh.
I presume that, well, I guess I don't know. Do you pay for her
I do.
when you go out? And as somebody who almost always has an additional person or three to pay for,
Right.
Going places like Okinawa or those nicer, better food locations and adding additional people does make a huge difference on what you spend as well.
No, I do want to clarify. I don't
Okay.
pay all the time.
No, I mean, but I
I'm
mean, like
just
on
clarifying
the
so
reg, on the
somebody
reg.
doesn't yell at me. That's
Yeah,
it. That's all I'm
she's
saying.
like, I don't make you pay all the time.
Right.
But yeah, but she knows that you are always willing.
Always willing.
Yep.
I also always will.
Darn right you are.
So where did you go instead of Okinawa?
Mad Anthony's.
Really?
That's always a good.
Yeah,
Did you get your grinder
I did. And it was delicious.
sandwiches?
Nice.
You said locally they have probably the best, like
I think
hot
so.
hoagie,
Yeah,
right?
it is. It's just tasty.
Good grinder.
You ever
Good grinder. That's
You ever go up by Winona Lake and try ceruleans?
I have tried ceruleans, but every time I go there, I get sushi.
But they've been closed for a long time.
And they have, yes.
They just reopened a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they've revamped their menu. I don't know exactly what the vibe is now.
I'm sure we'll
Well,
go back at some point.
When we first went there, they tried to pull off this more
Fine
like
dining.
fine dining experience,
Which
where
is what I
nobody
liked.
had like outfits or not outfits. What's the word? Uniforms or
yeah.
anything on. They just dressed really nice, came to your table, talked to you. Last few times I went, they all had like Okinawa shirts on. And it was
At
kind of,
ceruleans? That's weird.
or ceruleans, yeah. Sorry.
They're supporting other local businesses.
That's good on them.
Turns out it's the
Yes.
same owner. No,
Actually, we talked to that one guy and he said they all know each other.
they do. Well, the
From,
original owners of Cerulean sold it, I believe. They may still own the secondary location in Indianapolis now. I'm not
Okay.
sure. Not sure. But I think that's why it's changed. I think it
Could
changed
be.
owners.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that I hadn't been in a long time. So you're saying like the whole vibe was already changing even before
Oh,
the
yeah.
remodel.
Yeah.
So right now on their site, it looks like it's much more Asian themed than, because you know how at lunch it was always like the bento boxes and the fried noodles and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's like predominantly that now. I didn't even see like a dinner, like a fine dining menu anymore,
No, and they had like a kids menu and
which is okay. But that just tells me it is, even though it's cerulean, it's not really anymore. It's
No.
different. It's changed.
which maybe they did that to suit the demographic a little bit more. Maybe they were getting some feedback and people were complaining that,
It may not have even been complaints as we're spitballing theories, right? because maybe it's just that they found that when they that their Asian menu items tended to be the focal point.
Yeah.
And sushi was always one of their focal points, though.
Oh, yeah.
So
They
good.
always had really good sushi.
It is very, very
It is.
high quality sushi.
Very high quality.
I went there last year for my birthday with my family, and
Mm-hmm.
my one sister got their Korean fried chicken.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, and she said she really liked it.
Nice.
I do love me some fried chicken.
Korean or not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not picky.
No.
Fry that chicken, I'm good.
Fry that chicken.
Put it on a shirt.
Well, dude, it's hard to get grease stains out.
I know. It's true. It's very true.
So,
So then after lunch, we went to a little place called the Latin Grill.
you went after lunch.
Yeah.
So
We
you
went
guys
for dinner.
ate twice? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, those are hefty meals.
It's just a grinder.
Well, I guess I just don't think of eating out more than once a day.
Well, I don't normally either. But
Did you go out for breakfast that day?
I did not.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
Will's choking on his.
I did that one time.
Went out for all 3 meals.
Yeah, it was for, it was like 3 years ago. I think it was also for my birthday because I met my dad
Nice.
for breakfast at Grandma's.
I love that place
Then I had lunch at
for their penne.
Toyo Grill with my mom up in
Oh.
Mishawaka.
Yeah.
And then I met you at Okinawa for dinner. And
And he was
it
full.
was a lot of really rich food.
I'm
so
sure.
the next day I was not real hungry.
So anyway, I at the impromptu, that wasn't really impromptu family get together. I was telling one of my brothers about the Latin Grill House.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, we should go sometime.
Which is the new Honduran restaurant.
Correct.
Yes.
And they're like, yeah, sure. Just, let me know a time. And then I got to talking to another one of my brothers about it. And I'm just like, hey, what about Sunday evening? We can just go up there. And then over the course of Saturday, it turned into I invited all of my siblings, which there's 4 of them, and all of their significant others. And there was 10 of us at the restaurant that night.
Were you the only 10 or were there other people?
There were other people there.
Okay. I've just wondered because when we went when it opened at lunch.
Right.
And we're the only people at first.
Right. There was, I think, 2 other booths with people in them.
So not as hopping as it should be being new.
No, but I did drive by it at one point and saw there was a bunch of people in it at
Good.
one point. So
The food is very good.
the food is very good. It's a meat and potatoes type of place. They grill it up. It is delicious.
Yeah, even though it's Honduran, it would be most akin to something like a barbecue place.
100%.
You order your meat. They say it comes with fries. Some of them come with coleslaw and yuca, like basically another high starch, almost potato,
Almost potato.
fried yuca.
Right.
But literally, it's like a meat platter. If you get the main thing there, the menu is very small,
It is.
which is good.
It
It's
is.
specialized.
Right.
They bring you some sauces. 2 of them are oil based. Technically, all 3 because chimichurri sauce is oil based. But the chimichurri sauce,
Delicious.
phenomenal.
Right.
My goodness.
Like they don't need those other sauces. Just the chimichurri.
No, just bring me 3 of those,
Right.
and I'll just soak
3 of
everything in
those.
it. Oh
So,
my gosh!
So good.
Sounds really good. No, I was talking to this guy who managed hotels for a long time. He was a chef. Also,
You did his cabinets.
Yeah,
I remember this.
I actually remodeled his whole kitchen.
Nice.
And I asked him if he was going to start a restaurant nowadays, just kind of like making conversation. What he would do, he's like, I would start a restaurant and keep it really limited. Mm-hmm. So good on them.
Yep.
A professional who retired doing it,
Right.
basically.
What did your siblings think?
Oh, I think they all enjoyed it immensely.
Did they?
Yeah, but there was 10 of us. I couldn't talk to half the table. So you know how it is.
I hate large group gatherings because it's so hard to connect with anybody.
I'm just used to that from a family.
I know. I don't like it with my own family, and I have less people. That's like lunch today, right? There were 7 of us.
Yeah.
But like You basically just go, okay, the people on this end of the table are going to tag, the people on this end of the table are going to tag. And I just find that so unsatisfactory trying to spend time with people. But anyway, that is the extrovert in me. If I have the time to do something with people, I feel like I need to connect with them. Or maybe that's an introvert because introverts are about connection. I don't know. It's just the me in me. It's me.
It's your mini me.
It's shmee.
It's shmee.
I just had an apostrophe. Lightning just struck my brain. But yeah, that's good. Did anybody get dessert? Did you see the dessert?
Yes.
Did you taste the dessert?
Yes.
What's that like?
Delicious.
Is it as good as the meat?
No.
Not quite.
At least not the one I got.
Okay.
I got the tres leches cake.
Oh.
Or the milk cake.
Yep.
Yes. And it was very good.
Yeah, but that meat. Ooh.
So sometime I'm going to try the other desserts, but I plan on going back at some point.
Yeah. That beef summer sausage, man. Oh.
I thought that was delicious.
I could have a whole platter of just that.
So strangely enough, Christoph, that was his least favorite on the platter.
What?
I know. I was like, who are you and what have you done with Christoph?
Isn't he Polish though?
No.
Wow.
He's
He's from Belgium.
Close enough.
That's so
Wow,
so
that
American.
is so American.
Well, relatively speaking.
Will, are you from Pennsylvania?
Well, if you were in Belgium, you might be pretty close.
No. Just because you live farther away doesn't mean you're any less closer to a location.
No.
Anyway.
Very American answer, though.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we are American.
To be fair, he is an American.
He is. Are you not claiming to be one?
No, I am.
I just wanted to clarify.
I'm just not saying what Will did.
You're differentiating.
Yes.
Anyway, did you have anything else to say about the restaurant or about your weekend or your week? Anything? Did you watch The Fall Guy yet?
No.
Not yet? I just wondered.
Yeah.
You mentioned how you'd be down to see Furiosa, and I was like, I don't have time this right now. So.
I don't know why I thought I did.
But I have heard good things.
Yep. I'm still working on those planter boxes. I haven't had time to quite finish them, but they're so close.
Really?
Yeah.
You just have to like seal them, or?
So they've been stained, but when moving them, something broke, so we need to fix it.
Oh.
And that's what's taking.
But
That's
like
the
it
hold
then.
up. But it's like a 5-minute fix. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet.
It's okay. It'll happen.
And then I got to get dirt and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to get dirt.
Dirt.
But
and
yeah, no,
compost.
I think that was my weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds very full.
Yeah, it was. This weekend, I am swamped.
For real?
Yeah, I'm not doing anything.
I knew that.
I'm not. If anybody asks, I am busy.
And the beauty of this is when this releases, that weekend will be gone.
We will be gone.
So nobody will know.
No one. Except the two of you. So if it gets out, I'm watching you.
Yeah, well, I'm locked down this weekend. Will,
Yes.
give it anything to share.
A little bit.
Wow.
Yeah,
Will's got
yes.
real stuff to share.
Sort of. Yeah,
Sort of.
As you know, I've been playing Destiny 2 with you.
Yes, you have.
That's been really fun.
It has been really fun.
You know, I downloaded that.
I knew that was. You didn't buy the expansion. That's what we're playing.
It just came out.
Yes, that's what
Today?
we've been playing.
Tuesday.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Okay, whatever.
And that is what we've been playing.
I downloaded it more than 2 days ago.
Yeah, like a week and a half ago.
See?
I know. See, were you just agreeing?
And
He's trying to show us he's not all American. He's speaking foreign languages now.
Been going to that Latin
And-
house too much.
had I gotten much of invites, I may have bought the expansion.
I wouldn't. Not yet. Wait for it on sale. Unless you think you'd play it.
I won't.
Yeah, that's why. Wait for it.
Unless I get invited, and I'm not, so there's no point in
Wow.
buying it.
Especially because you're so busy this weekend. Am I right?
You're right. Swamped.
Oh, jeez Louise. That's too funny.
Yeah, I think we played it. Well, not too much, but it might be affecting my dreams.
Oh, wow.
That's
Because-
cool.
That is
It
Not a
used
lot.
to do. It used to do that to me.
Not a lot.
Doesn't anymore.
I don't remember the entire dream, but I was living in a city and the entire thing was overgrown, just like the Lost
Oh,
City,
Yeah.
where, like trees were growing up out of the streets and stuff, but everybody was acting like it was normal. And I don't remember what else happened.
He's melting environments.
Yes.
Oh. And I know for a fact this week our podcast followers increased by at least one because I followed and listened to last week's podcast.
What?
He was the one when you showed me the numbers.
No, it wasn't one.
For the subscribers?
Yeah, that jumped 3.
Oh. And
And
Will
I
Will was one of them.
Will was one of them. Good job, Will.
So, yeah, that happened
That's
because
you
talking about-
listened to your first episode.
Technically, all honesty, it was actually my third because I listened to the first two.
Oh, wait. I
When we
made him
first-
listen to one in the car.
Oh, that's right. That's
on the
right.
drive,
Yeah.
too.
So I listened to the first one we ever released.
Yeah.
I listened to the one
Zero.
that Pat made me listen to.
Right.
But the
then-
time you listened to the first one, episode 0, issue 0,
Oh, yeah.
you were with me. I
guess we
played
did.
that.
I don't think we listened to the whole thing.
So this is
But
the first
four.
time you've really done it by yourself.
By myself, of my own volition.
Nice.
Yes. I did hear
It took a year. It took almost an entire
took almost
11
an
months.
entire year.
11 months.
So
job.
yeah, I did hear how you bleeped out your joke you made with Pat.
Wow. Look at that. He knows stuff.
I know stuff.
This is weird. I
rem-
feel uncomfortable.
It's the Twilight Zone.
I heard the bloopers or whatever we're calling it there at the
Oh,
end.
the end credit scene.
End credit scene.
Did you like that?
Yeah. it was-
Yeah.
Pat called it. He did use that as
Nice.
the end
Yeah.
credit scene.
You
Yes.
and I left the part on where you said this is going to be an end credit scene.
Even
then-
better.
That is exactly where it ends.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the only last thing.
We really
know.
did gain a new listener.
We
though,
did.
like
Ah,
legitimately.
See?
He's like, wow, this podcast is actually good.
Listening to it, I kind of had an idea for myself, at least, to kind of like open up this beginning banter segment
Wow.
because I don't do a lot, but like I surf around the internet quite a bit and I read funny stories and kind of find interesting little tidbits.
Sure.
Yes, we
So-
know, and you do that often on
I
here.
do. So
true.
now I'm going to start writing some of them down and sharing them
Nice.
here.
He's got
So I
structure
have-
for his
Amazing.
intro.
Yes. See,
Wow.
look at that. I've grown. I've also been trying to make a conscious effort to talk louder because that was annoying in the car.
In the car is where it is the worst in the car. And that is where, so for our longtime listeners, and they think, wow, their audio used to be so much better. It did, because Christopher used to spend several more hours individually raising specific sentences in the audio track.
Yes, he did this.
And he doesn't anymore because he's like, this is a lot of work. And it does sound better in cars. It's fine on headphones, but I could make it better. But I'm not. Not right
don't-
now. And you guys
We'll just-
stay
we'll-
on mic a little better, and it helps immensely. It does.
There's probably an AI tool for that at this point, to be honest.
There's
Probably
so
AI
many
taking over the world. But
I didn't watch that video yet.
I mean, I cannot wait until you watch that video.
You know you'll get messaged right now.
I know. Go on, Will.
anyway, one of the things was, about they have medical assistant dogs, like for people who are in wheelchairs, they can go pick up stuff or see
Yeah.
Yes.
dogs.
Mhm.
I didn't know they train some of them for people with schizophrenia, right? So this video I saw, this guy has, even though he's medicated, he still has hallucinations.
Sure.
So like his are pretty mild, of just like his friends or family coming over and visiting him. And so he has a dog trained that will bark, like if he gives him a command, be like, who's here? the dog will go and bark at people who are actually there.
Oh, so
But
he
if-
can verify.
If there's nobody there and he gives the dog the command who's here, the dog will just sit there and stare at him. And he knows that everybody who's in his house isn't actually there.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I like this new
I
segment.
do too.
And
That is
brought that-
nuts.
I brought that up just
That's
to prove,
nuts so to the butt so.
just to prove dogs are better than cats.
You know, I said that phrase today.
Like at work? Mm-hmm. No, you didn't.
I 100% did.
On
You texted it to
accident?
me.
Nope. On purpose.
I definitely use it on purpose.
It's coming into the zeitgeist.
Oh,
We're putting it out there.
jeez.
Youths these days.
That's like when I would say poop in a shoe. Poop in a shoe. I still do that some.
Yeah, I've heard you say that.
Yeah. It's such good alliteration. Like it's got excellent phonic sound to it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Right.
what else you got for us? You were looking.
Small history for any history buffs out there. Small little thing today.
Heather is going to love this.
80th anniversary of D-Day, where America stormed the beaches of Normandy.
Nice.
So
Interesting.
yes. And then I saw this other video.
I think it was more than just America.
There was other.
They were the head. I mean, like
I know.
the U-boat charge was primarily.
I understand.
They'd already been fighting in Normandy for a while.
But technically correct is the best kind of correct.
Where the Allied forces
Thank you.
stormed the beaches
There you
of
go.
Normandy.
I also saw some grilling hacks almost because it's getting warmer. People are going to start grilling.
I thought you were going to talk about asking questions.
I mean,
Yes. Shine that light bright in their eyeballs.
boy, do I have a picture to show you later, Will.
Oh boy.
Oh,
That got weird fast. Let's move on. I've not tested any of these, but I plan to the next time
you fire
I
it up.
fire up the grill.
Yeah, let us know.
You can clean your grill with a onion. Like if you take a red onion, split it in
I've
half.
heard that.
I have
You
not.
could take it on a prong, one of those long forks you can use for grilling.
You don't just put it in your
Spirit.
palm and just
I
scrub.
mean, I guess certain people could probably do that.
If you have one of those, like barbecue gloves,
Yeah,
where they
you could
can
do that with
you
a
can probably
barbecue
do it
glove.
with
Yeah,
And
sure.
apparently it seasons your grill at the
Oh, I
same
bet.
time, so you can kind of get a little bit of an onion
the
flavor.
oils
maybe.
from the onion. I could see that. I buy into that one.
Sitting
I could
there
probably buy into
cleaning
that
your
one.
grill, crying.
Why is he crying? He was just cleaning his grill. How bad was it?
Anyway, the next one is the enzymes in kiwi is actually really good at tenderizing meat. So if you kind of let them sit,
The enzymes in kiwi fruit.
kiwi
right,
fruit,
kiwi fruit.
Just making sure we weren't talking about New Zealanders.
yeah.
I thought this
You
was
go to
getting
New
weird again.
Zealand
or the bird.
or the
Kiwi,
bird.
those are called kiwi birds. Kiwis are natives to New Zealand.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
But we're Americans, and we just call them all Kiwi.
Get it right.
That's
Britt.
true.
This
That's
is an American podcast.
Wow, this is. You can tell the 4th of July is coming up again.
Yep. America.
Yeah.
But yeah, you take a kiwi, get the skin off it, dice it up, let your meat soak in it for a little while, and it's
Yeah.
supposed to make it tender. This last one sent me down a little bit of a rabbit hole. So you can take half of a potato, just like you do with the onion, and it'll make your grill nonstick. And I've
What?
heard of other things potatoes can be used for. Because when I started welding,
You think that's the starch in them?
Like
It
a
is.
battery.
it is the starch. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can use potatoes to power things. But this old guy that was teaching me how to weld at the shop told me that if I ever get flash burn, go to the store, buy a potato, come home, cut it in half, and put it over my eye and lay down and let the juices go into my eye.
Has he done this?
Yeah.
Well,
And
he was
he's
a
like,
welder.
Well, that's
Hey,
why I asked.
he's like, it's the best thing. They don't make eye drops that are as good or as effective as
Potatoes.
just a
Potato juice.
So with that already in my head, I heard that about, putting the potato on the grill to make it nonstick. Like, what else do people use potatoes for other than just eating? So I have a list.
Nice.
I
if
am
you-
intrigued.
If you over salt your sauce. Like if you're making pasta and you put too much salt in it, you can cut a potato in half, put it in there, let it soak for a little while, pull it out, and it'll take some of the salt out.
Right, I did that. I had a soup that I made that it was just way too much.
That's right. And you added potato.
And I added potato.
And it toned it way down.
Yeah, it was delicious after that.
If you can take half of a potato and rub it on anything that's rusty, and it's supposed to take the rust off. Or if you boil your potato, you can take your silverware and put it in the leftover water and wash it in there, and it's supposed to take the tarnish off.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So if you rub a potato on something to take the rust off, you're also making it nonstick.
Yeah.
Here, I was going to make a joke about when I was rusty at doing something, I was going to rub myself with potatoes.
Oh.
There
you
we
go. That works, I guess.
Shoe polish. And the last one I
It
laughed.
polishes shoes?
Yeah. Cut the potato in half. Take
I'll
the
try
inside
it.
of it.
I wear dress shoes.
Like, what if you cut it in a quarter? Does it no longer polish the shoe? I'm kidding.
I think it's the handle.
I kept this up just to read it because this made me laugh after I read it.
Okay.
It says hot or cold compress. This is an age-old trick. Potatoes keep their temperature for a long time. So on those cold nights, keep slices of hot potatoes in your pockets and gloves to keep warm. Chilled potatoes are excellent for staying cool. You can also use potato slices in a sock to make hot or cold compresses to relieve pain and aches.
So
the vision I had in my head was like standing outside, right? My hands are in my pocket, and Chris walks up. I was like, "Man, it's really cold out. Like, you got any of those hand warmers?" And I'm like, "Yeah, here you go." And I just pull out a baked potato and hand it to him.
wow.
That's amazing.
The
Yeah.
compress thing works with rice as well.
Yeah,
You can fill a sock with rice
Yeah.
and microwave it.
I've seen those. I've never heard of the potato though.
You've
can
never
you also-
heard of the potato?
Potatoes are completely new to me.
What is this potato?
Oh,
you can boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. We had to get that in.
We
if We were
did.
talking about
We had
potatoes.
to.
No. Anyway.
Anyway, yeah, that was my fun potato rabbit hole.
That's great.
A potato rabbit hole. So, thank you.
Yes.
I like your list. I will look forward to it every week now.
Me too.
Because there was something you mentioned to me. What did you? Oh, it was about the invention of chainsaws. Do you want to share that?
Oh,
So he texted me one day. I kid you not. Like, he's just like, "Hey, have you ever looked up the origin of chainsaws?"
yeah.
That was literally his text
Nice.
message. And I was like, "No, Will, I don't believe."
I need to start randomly doing that.
The best part is he responded with, "No, I haven't," and I left it. I didn't tell
Of
him
course you did.
But
until we got on Destiny. And he's
I
like,
was like, I will ask him this question now. Will, what is the origin of chainsaws? So I'm going to ask you now, or are you going to save that for next week?
I could save that for next week.
Save that for next week. Put that on your list. Get a list going. So faithful listener, tune in next week to find out what the origin of chainsaws were. Don't Google it. Wow.
It's not what you think.
Do you have
All
a
right.
guess? Do you have a guess, or do you already know?
I don't know.
Do you have a guess?
Nah,
You're just going to leave it be?
just like I do with when I read comics.
You're like, I'm not going to try it. I'm just going to let it
I'm
happen.
just going to let it happen.
Oh, man, that's a good segue.
To our sponsor.
Comics. Have you read a comic
You
before?
haven't done your stuff.
I don't really have anything out of the ordinary. There were garage sales last weekend.
'cause
I
that
walked
is-
to my parents' house. I walked home in the rain. They seemed to think that it like I wasn't supposed to walk home in the rain, and I was like, dude, it's like a 10-minute walk. I'll be fine.
Right.
I was supposed to go to a graduation and couldn't make it in time. And I was supposed to go to a wedding, and due to circumstances that I could not control, I couldn't go to the wedding. And so it was pretty chill.
All right. Because we're not to the comic book yet.
Hold on. You do own it. Did you read it digitally?
Yes.
That Thor comic? I'm pretty sure that is it. Is
might
it not? I can't read it from here. Oh, it says complete collection. Maybe it's not. It is. This?
Sweet.
This is what we read. That's why I said to you, I go, I think you might have bought it. And
That is it.
I don't remember you saying that, but that's fine.
because I said, I think you might own it the one day we were talking about it. And you said, I don't remember. And I was picturing your shelf. You did own it.
That's cool.
So for next week, you can read straight out of that book.
I'll read straight
That
out of the
actually has all 24 or 25
Yeah.
issues, even though we're only reading
Right.
11.
I might just finish it.
Dude, why not?
Why not?
Read the whole shebang like I did Blue Beetle
Yeah.
and just be like, you guys, missing out.
Right.
Do it.
So anyway, we do
So what's
have
your new segment?
we do have a segment, and this is
I don't know what this is.
I know you don't. This is Christoph's
He has a smile on his
idea.
face. Oh, no.
So it's actually a segment that we did last week.
Will tries weird things.
Will tries weird things.
Chris provided
Hold on.
sponsored by Christoph.
Sponsored by Christoph.
Bring it on,
Oh
Christoph.
my
So-
goodness.
I'm excited.
Okay.
First off, thank you for sponsoring this week's
Christoph,
Will Tries Weird Things.
you
So,
beat out Lorena.
he gave
Lorena
us-
said she's going to go to the store to try to get another segment.
So he gave us a bag
It concerns me that it says
Filled-
American Red Cross
Me too.
on it.
filled with stuff. And we're not supposed to look into the bag.
We're just supposed to reach
We're
in.
supposed to reach in and grab something and bring it back and pull it out.
So is it one thing we're all sharing, or is it we each
I'm
pull something?
assuming it's one thing we're all sharing, but if it's not enough to eat, we'll pull something else.
Is Will drawing?
Will
from the
is
bag?
drawing it because it
Here, pass
says
it to me then.
so. Make sure nobody can see it when you open it up.
Will, are you prepared?
I was
Will's-
born ready.
Will was born ready to try weird things. Okay, he's reaching in the bag.
And
He's
I'm
rummaging.
pulling
Wow,
out.
that's large.
That's what she said.
Wow. I don't want to see the inside. What is this? What is this?
Give me
Oh,
grab and go roasted
I love
seaweed
these.
snacks.
I've never had this brand.
I have not either. I
Well-
don't know if I've ever just eaten seaweed.
I like these. Crack them open.
Drag them open.
Christoph,
so, is
this
there
is a
like
good choice.
descriptor on there or anything?
Yeah, read to us what we're. Read the top of the box. I see something on the top lid.
Here we go. Gimme Grab and Go. Powered by one of the world's most nutrient-dense veggies, our seaweed snacks are craveably crafted to deliver an amazing crispy crunch and salty umami flavor that will have
Umami.
you saying, "Give me more."
Ooh, mommy, give me more.
Mommy, give me more. Cool. All right, pop that sucker
That
open.
should be a clip. That's going to be left in, but that should just be a clip all the time that I can drop it.
There you go. You have that power.
I've got the power.
I don't
Okay.
have the power to get this.
He's trying to open it.
I don't have my pocket knife with me.
Wow.
I have a pocket knife.
I have a pocket. Ooh.
There we go.
That pocket knife was
Hand
thrown across the room.
I mean, it's foldable and it wasn't unfolded, so
No, but it was tossed well and caught well.
We're gonna try it again. Ready?
you want.
Oh. Da-da-da.
Boom.
You can tell they're experienced knife tossers.
Darn right.
They're knife throwers. Oh.
Take
Here.
one, pass it around.
Here.
Wow.
Okay. Here,
So-
try again. There's plenty. Yeah,
we made that one.
got it.
Chris just tossed him some seaweed.
It's
these-
like shade, but worse.
So they're portable slim packs is what we
Yeah.
got.
Yeah. So these are thin. Ooh, they stink.
Sea salt.
Probably smell
Oh,
like
it smell like seaweed. I
seaweed.
hate that smell. It's my least favorite thing about going to the beach. When you're in the water and you can smell seaweed. Just not a fan.
Yeah.
It's skunky.
You know what smells like skunk?
Skunks.
Yep.
Or other weed than seaweed
Yep.
and weed in general.
There you go.
Yeah, I love these things. I've bought them before. Ooh, Will's thinking. He's thinking about what he thinks. Thinking about how he feels about this. Oh, yeah, get that nice. So they're crispy, but they like melt in your mouth.
They
not
really
in your
do.
hand.
No, they crumble in your hand.
Right.
Into tiny flakes. If you want to feel really powerful, you can just take one of these and crush it in your palm and imagine that it's just the hopes and dreams of other people.
There you go, Chris.
What?
Bring out the full totalitarian dictator in you.
I do like Sinestro, right?
He was your favorite last week.
As you would remember.
As I do recall.
I like listening, Will. I like this guy. Patrick. Patrick looks like a goat.
I literally thought the same thing. I'm like, Pat the Billy Goat.
You know, in one of the very first issues, we made the joke about you chewing the grass in the yard instead of having a lawnmower, and then you talked about how your family wanted to get goats, but then there had to do with this like poisonous plant or something. You said, because you say they can't actually eat anything, and we were like, they don't eat anything, and we make a joke about them being solar powered and all this stuff. But
I don't remember that much of it, but
Patrick, the way that he was just eating these, he had a very goat vibe going on. He's the goat today. Patrick.
I am the greatest of all time. Thank you.
There are actually quite a few of these in these packs.
Yeah.
I hope you're all enjoying the ASMR of crunchy
seaweed.
Crunchy seaweed. You know, I could just leave all of this in.
You could.
We could just leave it all in. You know.
And if you don't like it, let us know.
Yeah, if you don't like us eating on eating on the mic. This is definitely a different podcast than it used to be. I don't know. Is it? It's more as Will has grown, so has the podcast. It's so refined.
I like how the first thing Will pulled out is green. And we've been on a Green Lantern kick.
We have. And he's willpower.
He is willpower.
Are you guys both done? Oh, that's my last piece. I'm done too, I guess. So, what'd you guys think? I love these.
Those are actually pretty good.
I enjoyed it immensely.
Thank you, Christoph.
Christoph, I don't think you would like it.
No, I can't. I don't think it's something
It's
he
got
would
a
enjoy.
fishy, a slight fishy taste to it, so he would not like it.
That is true.
I'm going to presume that he does not eat sushi.
He does not eat any fish.
So this is much like the seaweed taste you get from sushi. It is seaweed. That's what you're doing. So
it is.
But a lot of times you don't really
like
taste it in most styles of sushi that you get.
I think you do with certain types, or like depending on, like the ones with the seaweed on the outside, like the very traditional, normal, like single small piece.
If it's been Americanized,
no, you don't.
Then
get that.
you get virtually none of it. Which is, I talked to the woman who owns Kiyomi. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was with me and you, or me and my dad when we were there. And,
probably your dad, because I don't remember this.
And we asked her how much she Americanized her menu for like the sushi and all that other stuff. She's quite a bit. They cook it quite a bit sweeter than what it usually is to suit the American palate.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I really hate that we put sugar in everything.
I know, but it's like our friendship, just sweetened.
Okay. So.
Thanks,
Will liked it, Chris.
I love it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Those packs.
And I tried it more.
And
than
this
twice.
was just sea salt.
Right.
Some of these, some seaweed packs, they have like flavoring on them. So some of them are not just salted.
I would like one that's spicy.
I've had. They have a
sriracha.
No.
Thought that would be pretty.
Why
good.
am I spacing?
Jalapeno.
Wasabi. I've had wasabi ones.
Okay.
Ooh, there you
Those
go.
are good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I also really enjoyed it.
Nice. So, Christoph, that was a hit.
So, here's
food? Yes.
Here's a problem.
Crunchy seaweed.
Since Christoph does not want any of us to ever look into the bag, we're not going to know how long this is going to take to get through the bag.
That's okay.
Well, one day we may reach into it and there's nothing left.
And that'll be okay. We just will have the empty bag segment.
We'll be like, wah, wah,
Wah,
wah.
wah, wah, wah.
I mean, that's life, Pat. Sometimes you reach into the bag of life and there's just nothing in there.
That's depressing. That's what that is. That's depressing.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, negative will.
So there you go. Thank you once again, Christoph.
Yes.
Yes.
That was an amazing gift of a segment. I think Lorena might be providing at some point as well,
Right.
according to her. She
And
has
if-
ideas.
And if she does, well, then we can switch back and forth.
We will. Look at our listeners providing content for themselves. We appreciate you guys so much.
We do. So much.
From
It's
the bottom
why
of our
it's
hearts. thank
literally
you.
why we do it. It's why we do
Yep.
this.
Right.
It's literally why I stayed.
Right.
So
That and Green Lantern. Moving on
He's not
to
wrong.
more Christoph,
'Cause
the
there's
fourth member of this podcast.
he's basically worked his way into it.
He's like the news reporter that we throw to
Well, you know, like the
in the
how
field, the field reporter.
you know what he kind of is? It reminds me of how Three Musketeers is really about D'Artagnan.
There you go.
But he's not actually one of the Three Musketeers.
So this podcast is really
It's
just
really
about,
about
Christoph. Yeah, that makes sense.
So the proposal,
Sweet. Yes.
I remember from
His
last week.
email. Chris, will you marry me?
It depends.
Guys, wow. The level of organization and follow-up is pretty hot looking on you, Chris. Your wife better watch out. Apparently, Christoph likes himself an organized man.
Apparently,
Apparently.
and does not shock me at all.
That's hilarious.
I don't think I have laughed out loud. Gotta spell it out for Will, or he'll just say "lol" like a youngin'.
That's true.
So much with any podcast. This one was on fire. I have to go back and listen to it so I know what he's talking about. I am glad to see others are emailing you as well. Lorena is making me have to work for the most emailer title. Talking about titles, my sign-off has evolved a little and is now dropping the first title as soon as I add a new one below.
It's
in the
a
interest
rolling-
of saving time and gigabytes off data.
It's a rolling email.
It's got a rolling email title.
You don't have to do
list.
that, Christoph. I can get faster.
Challenge accepted.
Yep, make it as long as you can.
Oh no.
That's going to be rough.
We'll see what happens.
I am looking forward to the call-in show and secured Heather's cooperation. So you have at least 2 call-ins.
Nice.
I have
Nice.
started assembling a list of questions to grill you on, so
Oh,
you better buff up on your general trivia knowledge. Come
It's
at
gonna
me,
be horrendous.
Christoph. The comics. So I would like Chris to explain how the pacing of an arc like the Sinestro War is done in comic world. The issues we have been reading are not from the same series, so are they just expecting readers to buy issues from totally different series just to follow a storyline? What for the people that are not reading Blue Beetle, you were right. It made no sense without having read anything else, or people only reading Green Lantern Corps but nothing else.
Go,
Seems
Professor
very
Chris.
disjointed and hard to follow as a fan. So I was rereading that a little bit because I'm like, did I skip a line?
No, you didn't.
No.
You're tracking.
Oh my gosh, I seriously stared at the picture of Pepperbelly Pete for minutes long, trying to figure out whose kitchen Patrick is in until I realized it wasn't Patrick.
Dude, Lorena thought it was, for a second, she was like, she looked, and then she looked again, and she was like, oh, I said, Patrick swears it doesn't look anything like him. And she lost her mind.
I'm going to be honest. I might just be saying that to be contrarian.
I feel like what we need to do is have you put a hat on and take a picture of you in the same pose.
Oh, I'm sure I could get some overalls too.
Overalls, we'll get you that sleeve that he wears that he puts different things into. Did you notice that?
I
He's
did.
got like,
He has like a gauntlet of sauce, which
Right.
is awesome.
it's
Right.
like,
Or it's like a bracer.
if you watch a movie and there's a sniper and he's got that arm and it's got all the bullets in there, it's
Right.
the same thing, but he puts like sauces or
sauces.
seasonings.
It's awesome, actually.
If you
We
notice,
can do this, and then we got to tag him.
Well, we would have to. We'd
Yeah.
have to make sure he sees it.
Right.
And then it would blow his mind.
It would.
And it would get us exposure. If he mentions it. He might just be like, thanks.
Probably.
But anyway.
Heather, sorry, I had to pick back up.
Yep.
Heather made the correct and even more hilarious callback that Patrick's first character on EverQuest, yes, we are that old, was named Patterbelly, which is hilarious.
For real?
Have we let Pete know about this? I realize now that my emails are making the podcast longer and longer, and I like it. Anything to hear Will's smooth Roomba voice. And can we do some Squirrel Girl for the intermission break?
Oh.
Keep up the great work.
We probably could fit some in. Not this time if we're going to do Captain America. But we could tag it on before we go into Green Lantern again.
Yeah.
We have room. We can do whatever we want, Christoph, and that's a direct request from you,
Yeah.
our listener.
I can bust out my omnibus.
Yeah, just not violently.
No.
You could kill somebody
I
with
could
that.
knock a hole in the wall or something.
All right. Keep up the great work. Yours sincerely, the longest emailer, Shirley now, the most faithful listener, the Trekkie Lord Supreme, the actual reader of the comics, the more emailer than Logan, right? The holder of the truth about fries, the no longer saddest, the I want to be Patrick too, the longtime listener, first time emailer every time, the one who charges things all the time, the one who fights the IRS audits, the Logan, the prolonger of podcasts. Christoph.
Christoph, now when I eat fries that are crispy on the outside and like pretty good, I think of you every time.
Nice.
Because of that, because you have proclaimed yourself the holder of the truth about fries every time. I went to a new place yesterday, place I had never been. It's actually an old place, never tried it. And their food was pretty mediocre overall. But the fries were really good. So was the beer cheese. And I thought of you. You have officially implanted yourself into the section of my brain that thinks about French fries. And if I think fries are good, you end up being thought of. So, good job, Christoph.
You are the fry guy.
Also, to answer your question about pacing, crossovers, and events. So the way that most comic book companies go about doing events is they will cross over, as we've seen with this, as we saw with Nightfall, different things like that, into parallel series that are ongoing that have to do with the same plot. So there are people who probably opted to only read Green Lantern when all of this started. Maybe even some who were reading Green Lantern Corps, though that's a lot less likely. And the majority of people who are only reading one book are going to only be reading Green Lantern. The majority of Green Lantern readers, though, are going to subscribe to both books anyway, knowing that it all ties into the same universe. But when an event happens and they do like chapter 1, chapter 2, like this was, and had special tie-ins, what the companies generally do is they release a read list months ahead of time. They say, hey, coming up is this thing called the Sinestro Corps War. It's going to be included in Green Lantern, like 17, 18, 19. Like they go through it, and it'll list either in a comic or sometimes on a separate card that are sent to friendly local comic book shops. And you can pick up the card and say, hey, I'd like to subscribe to all of these. Your comic book shop will then put you on a pull list, and they will gather those for you. Or if you subscribe to the comics in the mail, which some people still do, but it's crazy because you never know if they're going to get beat up in transit. You can subscribe to those. People who are really into comics, like if you order quite a few a month or want to know what's coming up, there is a comic, well, it used to be called previews. Now DC and Marvel have like their own ones, and there's still a previews. And but basically, it shows what's coming out, and it's usually a few months down the line. And so you see what's coming out and you fill out an order form, hand that into your retail comic shop, and they pull the comics that you order because then they put them on their order to make sure that they have ones for you. You don't have to worry about getting into the shop missing out. So generally, that's how that's handled. Yes, big events are oftentimes bloated or at least spread throughout different comic titles, different books. And this can be a point of frustration for readers because it forces them to buy comics that normally they don't. But a lot of times, if they're done well, like the Sinestro Corps War, nobody really, that doesn't bother anybody. I have some Batman stories that I subscribed to back in the day that had tie-ins, and they would list them, and then you'd end up reading an event and going, wow, that really disappoints me that I just bought like 8 extra comics and only like 2 of them were good. But in this kind of situation, that's how that's done. It's for sales, but it's also for exposure to other comic book series, different writers. But the main writer who's overseeing the primary story, so in this case, Jeff Johns, he would have mapped out all of the story beats that needed to be hit on. So whether he was writing Green Lantern and Corps, or if he was guiding the Corps writer, who might have been Gibbons or Tomasi, then they would still write with their own flair, but following his guidelines for what needed to take place, not necessarily like the character dialogue and stuff. Chris, that's to answer your question. That was the whole shebang. That's how those are done, to my knowledge. If I am wrong, I do not know more than that.
There you go.
There you go.
Class is dismissed.
He asked a question that I had a pretty in-depth
He is.
answer
That's
to.
great.
So for those of you like Larry, who also is like, why am I reading in all these different books? That's why.
Yeah, I don't think he noticed it as much with the Batman series because I handed him the books to read.
Oh, he's reading your actual books?
Yeah.
And he's spending all that time looking up the extra stuff online?
Yeah.
That's just crazy. I understand some of the questions, but I don't know if I rarely would ever do that.
Yeah, he read them out of there.
He wants the big picture.
I think so.
Yeah. So, Roomba. Now that you got to be the Will Tries Weird Things.
We have all kinds of segments now.
Yeah,
Look at us go.
They're becoming more and more Will-centric.
Everybody loves Will.
That's going to be the name of the podcast soon. Guys with Issues presents Everybody
right.
Loves Will.
I'll go find the domain name.
That's the real spin-off
this-
series.
Is this like a ripoff of Everybody Loves Raymond?
Yes.
You know, the show they made about me was Everybody Hates Chris. That was a show. Everyone Hates Chris or something like that. You ever see that?
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever saw it.
it ran a few seasons.
Well, they never made a show about me that I know of.
With your name in the
There is a
title?
YouTube channel, though,
Well,
about me.
a literal one
Right.
about you
No.
that you're on, though.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
You going to plug it?
No.
Okay.
Good.
Because I'm making a joke about Pepper Belly Pete or whatever.
Oh. Sorry, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Are you Pepper Belly Pete?
Dude, that would...
I've actually had that question more times than I'd like to admit.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, because it's not about him if we're talking about him.
Right.
It's always got to be about Roomba Will.
I do love that is his nickname now. Especially since I've been starting to watch Gundam too, and I know what that's from.
Rambo.
Yeah.
Rambo Roll. Did you get to him now?
Oh, yeah.
He's such a good character.
He is. Sorry.
Anyway,
He's like,
Yeah.
any way again.
I've tried this 3 times.
Just chill, okay?
Just
Go
clear
ahead.
your throat again.
This usually triggers somebody to start talking.
Yeah, you. Come on.
Yeah. In this beginning arc of Thor God of Thunder, we follow Thor across 3 different timelines. A young Thor, relatively speaking, who encounters Gore the God Butcher on Earth during medieval times, as Gore is murdering other gods. A modern-day Thor, who investigates the disappearances of gods across the cosmos and discovers a trail of dead gods that lead back to Gore the God Butcher. And as the last of the living gods, in a far distant future as Thor is being tormented by the thralls of Gore. Across time and space, Thor chases the God Butcher to put an end to his tirade. What is it exactly that drives this crazed killer to go after the gods? Which of them will break first, and why is Thor the only god who noticed? Find out with us on Guys with Issues.
Ooh, good call. You didn't say today. You said with us.
Yes.
That was clever.
That was nice.
Because we don't have answers to those yet. Those
We
come in this
don't.
part 2 next week.
Next week.
That was excellent.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
used a couple of really good words.
Thanks. I don't know which ones those were, but
No, my
Thor
point.
and Gore.
Thor and Gore.
Anyway,
Put it on a shirt.
eh, that's just going to be the shirt at this point.
Right, just Thor and Gore.
No, put it on a shirt.
Oh.
It's just going to be the shirt.
Well, that was already a suggestion.
I know. Anyway, Patrick,
Yes.
did you have a favorite part? I'm just going. We're going.
I have
Structure.
I have a question first.
Oh, man. Halt. Pump the brakes.
I know, pump the brakes. I'm sorry, but what is the definition of immortal?
The literal definition?
Yes.
Let's look it up.
I was going to say, I'm guessing it's something that, like, doesn't die.
That's my assumption.
Because mortal is in the core of the word. So immortal would mean not mortal,
Right.
meaning beyond mortality.
Mm-hmm.
That's my presumption.
Okay, it says
With
living
etymology.
forever, never dying or decaying.
Is that Oxford or Webster's?
Oxford.
Okay. I prefer to use Oxford.
Uh,
And yes, I do use the dictionary that much. That
I didn't know that I knew somebody who had a preference on dictionaries.
It's true.
That's cool.
I legitimately do.
I appreciate that.
I also have a thesaurus that is called the Synonym Finder, which is much better than any other normal thesaurus I've used. So, why did you ask this question?
Well, because supposedly Gore has been killing immortal people.
That's the question now, isn't it?
So if they're able to die,
They're not really
they're
immortal.
not immortal.
So would you say that that's how gods look at themselves? Well, that's not true. The second definition saying not decaying, if they don't decay,
But they were doing that too.
decaying
Yeah.
while they were alive?
No.
Because we decay, right? Like
So does it-
we're
I
in like
don't
a
know.
state of entropy.
Maybe
But
that's it.
technically, they would not be entropic.
Maybe,
right?
Maybe that's the definition they're going with. I was like,
I think the idea is that gods claim to be immortal, and Gore is proving that gods are full of crap.
right.
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
I think it's more about the idea in mythos that gods are immortal, claimed by themselves, but Gore thinks that gods are a big bunch of hokey balonies. Also, Gore is the main villain in Thor Love and Thunder,
I heard
which
they
is
did
a
it dirty.
garbage movie. There are some really good parts with Gore. He's one of the highlights of the movie. Movie sucks. They ruined the storyline. They could have so easily made the most epic murder mystery, creepy, Gore is still pretty creepy in the movie.
Well,
I
but
never watched it.
I didn't
Christian Bale does a good job,
I was told not to.
but the movie is not good. And it's a shame because when I heard that Gore was going to be the villain, I was like, oh, they're going to do that story. And then they don't. There's no multiple versions of Thor. They don't. But to be fair, the Jane as Thor is written by the same writer and happens at the very end of the series, like the next issue where after the series ends. He creates Jane.
Doe.
No. What is her last name? I almost said Austin. Anyway. So, Patrick,
Yeah.
did you have a favorite scene?
Oh, I have a list of scenes I enjoyed.
But not a specific favorite.
Well, I was thinking about that. I
Yeah.
think I'm just going to go with the first one I wrote down. The first one I ran into, it was because I don't know. There's just something about the emotion of the scene
Okay.
or something. It was where when Thor found that first dead god in his early years. Let's
The
say
Native
teenage
American one?
Thor. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
young
Native
Thor.
American one.
I just call him young Thor.
Okay, young Thor.
Mm-hmm.
So like young Sheldon, but more immortal.
And older. Like physically
I know,
older.
I know. Anyway,
This is pre-Mjolnir, by the way, to our listeners.
right. Correct.
Thor
He
does
just
not
has an
is not
axe,
worthy
which
yet.
I don't know the axe name.
I don't. He
says
it
it,
once.
but
yeah, it's a Norse word.
Right. And then everybody's just like leaving, and I don't remember exactly what Thor said, but the old lady falls to her knees and starts praying. And Thor's like, what god are you praying? Pray tell, what god are you praying to? And she goes, all of them.
Yeah,
I don't know. For some reason that hit me.
yeah. I mean, she was clearly scared
Clearly scared.
and knew something
she saw
was
a
bad.
dead god.
Yep.
She was like, what is going on?
Yep. Yeah, that was a good scene.
Oh yeah, definitely set the ambiance of the whole.
I think it did, yeah.
And Thor, you could tell that he felt the gravity of seeing a god dead.
Right, yeah.
He did not make light of it.
He didn't say anything after that. Like
No.
the scene changed after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For me, it's also when he was young Thor,
Okay.
when he was first fighting Gore in the sky, and Gore has him by the throat, and he's asking him,
That's a good scene.
"Well, what are you the god of?"
He's like, "You're
And
the god of war."
Yep, that's on my list too.
Yeah, and Thor just says thunder, and lightning strikes him, and I'm like, thunder and lightning aren't the same thing, but
He
it's still
controls
pretty
lightning.
cool.
Yeah, that's how he makes thunder by controlling lightning.
That's that right. Like that's.
Yeah.
I had that written down as well. So I had the young Thor thunder moment that he mentioned.
Yep.
But I kind of took more of like a segment than a specific scene, and that's that the whole kind of kickoff it was the second or third issue where Thor starts with his like search through the Hall of the Lost Gods. And so he would like look up gods that are missing and then go find them.
Right.
And they were all dead,
They were
like
all
every
dead.
time.
Every time.
Or missing, or like clearly like remains were
Right.
somewhere. And I think that that's cool. It's a cool idea that there's a whole catalog of like gods that just mysteriously vanished.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
they don't
nobody
think
looked into it.
But they don't think they can be dead. Like they believe gods are immortal.
Right.
And so he's like, no, something. And he becomes the Sherlock Holmes of the Avengers, basically. But yeah, I like the premise of this is kind of a murder mystery. But done on like a infinite scale. It's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have other favorite scenes?
Yeah.
You mentioned you had a few.
I think one more that I'll talk about.
Okay.
There's the scene in the library where it's being attacked and it's on fire. And the librarian is talking to I don't remember the name, but the other god that...
Shadrach.
Talking to Shadrach, who had his eyelids cut off and is crazy.
Yeah, insane.
Insane. Literally insane.
Because of gore.
Right. And then the librarian is like, if only we had like a god of water or something. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but he goes, what are you the god of? And Shadrach goes, I'm the god of songs and somersaults. And the librarian says, terrific. Or, yeah, he goes, terrific. Try rolling around in that fire to put it out. I was just like, that's hilarious.
I also like when he's like, Where's the book on Cronax or whatever? And he's like, it's on fire over there. And Thor runs to get it.
Runs over to pick it up, yeah.
Did you see that the fire suppression system was a bunch of like little fairies? They were like water pixies.
That was good too.
That was pretty funny. My second one was when he first goes to the old librarian in Omnipotent City because he's the old librarian's walking Thor around. He tells him, "Oh, if you want to go look at the Hall of War, there's quite a bit on your dad in there, your family." And he's like, "Oh, you're talking about dead gods? There's a hall about that. You know, your dad's filled quite a few of those."
Right.
And so it's like he's kind of like quipping towards Thor all the time, you know. I thought that was a fun scene.
I liked the moment in that one that I really liked is when Thor first shows up and he goes, "Oh, I never thought I'd see you here again." He goes, "Your dad brought you when you were really little, but I didn't think you'd ever come back." That was funny.
Makes sense.
Funny. Oh yeah. But I don't think while young Thor he seemed brash and kind of dumb because he was young.
Right.
But like current Thor seems like he's grown immensely from that.
Sure.
That was one of my favorite things is that you feel like there's a character arc by seeing 3 different times of the same guy.
Right.
You're like, oh, I can see character growth.
Especially like towards the end when, I don't know if this is anybody's, but I kind of have this written down as one of mine. And it's when Thor falls into the pool of blood and travels back in time.
Yeah.
And he lands next to the old Thor.
Mm-hmm.
And he thinks it's his dad.
Yeah. And
He did.
Old Thor just doesn't correct him. Like, it's better if he just assumes. And old Thor just keeps making fun of him too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, "Man, you're really dumb. I forgot how dumb you are."
I know, right?
Also, did you guys notice that his arm is the arm of the Destroyer? It's like a big metal arm. Did you see that?
I didn't see it.
If you think back to the first Thor movie, to the big machine thing that they send after him to kill him, it's the arm of that.
Oh,
So
that's fun.
yeah, I think they show it maybe later, like how it happens. I don't remember, but did you guys have any other scenes you wanted to mention?
Only one. I was seeing if
Go
you
ahead.
had any more.
Nope.
It's kind of goes along the
I
same,
kept the list real small this week.
the same vein as the story with the old lady when she gets down on her knees. When
Yeah.
Thor starts telling the story of the deranged god that went and murdered a whole bunch of people. And then they finally captured him and brought him back and put him in a hole. He's like, "I wanted to go and see what
Oh,
this..."
yes, I remember.
Because
this.
his Thor's dad's like, "There's a difference between war and murder." And he's like, "I want to know what that difference is." And so he goes and he tries to see and he falls in the hole. And
He's there for what, 5 or 7 days or something like that?
I think it was hours.
Hours? Okay.
He was
Oh
down
yeah,
there
like
for
5 hours.
5 hours.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And the guy never hurt him, didn't attack him. He just sat there and talked to him. And he's like the look in his eyes. There wasn't like malice or hatred. It was all just like he was very calm.
But he was crazy.
But he was yeah.
And Thor, like, that stuck with him forever.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yep, that was good.
The writing in this is epic.
It was really good.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite character?
I mean, I thought about that. There's really 2 characters.
Gore and Thor?
Yeah,
I mean, like, other than minor characters. right?
exactly.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to answer that.
So do you
Really?
like
You're going to withhold
I'm gonna withhold.
I mean
I'll see
there's-
what happens in the next.
there's old Thor, there's modern day Thor, there's young Thor, there's Gore,
There's Shadrach.
Shadrach, the old librarian.
Yeah, no, I'm withholding until the next.
So you're going to say
Next series.
not applicable yet.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I am actually going to say this is kind of weird because he was only in there for like a handful of panels maybe, but Iron Man.
There you go.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, then I
Never mind. He's
Take
taking
it
that back.
Take it back. I don't know how you do
there
that.
was a fist bump because I.
You
And
thought
that
we were
is-
on the same page.
I did.
And
That's
then
hilarious.
Iron Man.
Subverted expectations.
Hard. Oh wow, you haven't done that in a long time.
Oh, right.
That was even
That was
an
also
end credit
A
scene.
subverted expectation.
It was. Wow.
Uh,
Oh, that was good.
yeah.
So what made you pick Iron Man?
They went to the cave where Thor was, he
Tortured.
He hung out there for a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
He was probably pretty Thor after that.
Wow.
thank you.
It was inevitable. So,
But even though it was like God level stuff happening out in the cosmos, he was willing to stay there and be with Thor and like continue to help him despite it being, of the cosmic scale.
I mean, at the end, even like, doesn't Thor tell him to go warn Olympus or something
Yeah.
like that?
He does.
And
Thor
Thor,
sends Iron Man to go warn Olympus.
yeah, and Thor tells Iron Man that he considers him to be on the same level as like any of the gods.
Right.
Which I'm sure Tony appreciated.
It didn't boost his ego at all.
I don't believe that.
Anyway, I thought I'd throw that out there.
Cool.
I thought the obvious answer would have been Thor, but
Well,
I mean, that is the obvious answer right now. That's why I don't feel like
my
we should say it.
secondary answer,
the one he thought mine was going to be.
because he was only in a handful of panels.
The librarian.
No, I thought if you had to pick one, that'd probably be who you'd pick, though.
I mean,
If you had to pick somebody not Thor or Gore.
right. It would be the
Probably.
librarian.
Probably.
He was snarky.
No, I was going to pick old Thor. Because even though he's not in a lot, I enjoy his scenes.
Sure. But that's still the same character.
But they're very different people. You can't say like old Thor and young Thor are the same character. They might be the same person, but timeline-wise, they are not the same character.
Sure.
They don't fit the same character archetypes.
Sure.
They have the same name. How American.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where you got that from.
But anyway, I like old Thor. I consider, if you just say Thor, to be the current timeline one.
Okay.
So, no. I like old Thor.
Cool.
Odin Thor.
Yeah,
The All-Father. Technically, he would be at that point.
he would be.
So, I like it, the All-Father.
The millions of years in the future All-Father.
Yes. Not Odin. He's not in the comic.
He's talked about in the comic.
Oh, is that like that? Is he in it?
Right.
That's funny. Do you have a least favorite scene?
No.
No?
No.
Cool. That's simple.
Yeah, I just wrote down what came to mind when I was reading it, and I didn't have any least favorite scenes. I couldn't really think of I didn't want to do the obvious Thor and Gore for least or most and favorite, least favorite. So, yeah.
What about you, Will? Do you have a least favorite?
Not really, but I will say when Thor was hanging out in that cave, that was pretty gruesome.
Yeah. I don't have a least favorite scene either. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
Wow.
And so you don't have a least favorite character?
No, I'd like to say I'm withholding judgment because I really want to know more about Gore before I make that judgment on those two characters.
What about you?
I didn't like the last time god that was left standing. He
The
obviously
one that
just
helped make the...
yeah. He was like, I helped you. You're going to let me live, right? And he's like, I had never said that. And ends up killing him and throwing him in anyway.
That's such like when a bad guy makes like scientists make something maniacal for him, and they're like, so we get to live, and he's like, I lied to you, and then he kills everybody.
Right.
Or like when it's usually like, we did something great, here, let's drink on it, and they poison the drink or whatever. And it's just like, you trusted the dude that's that bad.
Yeah, I know.
Like, no. But I guess self-preservation is the thing, right?
Yep.
So my least favorite character is young Thor. I think he is so dumb sometimes.
Honestly, I thought that would be Pat's.
Because he's very Guy Gardner.
Literally my thought exactly when I was reading him.
Well, my problem with that is, to me, they're the same character.
But they're not, literary speaking.
Okay, I don't know anything about that crap.
That's fine. But that's why in the next comic, when all three of them are together, you can't say they're the same character.
But they are.
But they're not.
Technically.
No, they're the same person.
Right.
They are not the same character.
See, I don't see a differentiator in
Well, by definition, that is different.
that. Okay.
Just like in a time travel movie.
I believe you.
I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Wonderful.
See, you argue about science. I will argue about literature.
And I'm
all
not
day.
arguing with you.
Is he filming us?
No, I was trying to read some stuff.
I was trying to. You're supposed to be talking, not reading.
Oh, well,
So, continue. I don't want
I'm
to
done.
mess up the structure.
I didn't have anything.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay. So
we
there
have to
is
rate.
actually video evidence of Christoph eating the
Twinkie
Twinkie
Wiener.
Wiener hot dog sandwich. Twinkie Wiener sandwich. So I don't know if you want to watch that now and react to it on live or you just want to watch it afterwards. But that's up to you.
I mean, I bet Christoph would like to know our reaction. Do you have it on your phone?
I don't.
Oh. You got to go to your computer?
I got to go grab somebody.
Great. That's
Wow.
That's strange. Are we going to have a special guest? You're like, it'll be a
Maybe.
special phone guest. Go ahead.
All right,
sure.
I'll be back.
So we can cackle at Christoph.
Yes. Yep, let's see it.
How do I play the video? Is there a play button?
Little play button at the bottom.
I didn't see that. Oh. Oh, he didn't do the cheese. Christoph. That was a wild cheese spread. You need to bunch it. Just hold it straight down.
That was me, actually. I
Dang
think
it,
that was
Pat.
me. Yeah, I've screwed that up royally. It was my fault.
Oh, I thought.
Maybe it was Christoph. I've slept since
Wasn't
then.
his hand the one touching it? Oh, he's trying. His face. Look at his face. He's really trying to decide. Oh, that's when Heather takes it. Oh, she takes a big bite. She goes
does.
in
She
for
goes
it.
in for
Good on you, Heather. Christoph was very apprehensive, and Heather just goes for it. But Christoph did he's like, it wasn't bad. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Then he tries it
so
again.
and he does it. Here it is. Will tries things twice. Christoph tries things twice. Heather's face looks like she's a little disgusted. Wow, that was a much bigger. Wow, he chows down on that second bite. Oh,
Good
see.
job, Christoph.
Yeah, look at you. That was a great way to go for it. Oh, his face just changed. He's like,
Yeah,
no,
he didn't like that second bite.
That was it.
It's that Twinkie. It's that
Oh,
sponge.
then he tried.
Oh, he went in for third.
He ate 3 bites.
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
There you go.
Did he finish it?
No.
Like a
Oh.
champ.
Wow, Christoph. Admirable. Thank you for participating. Heather, you too.
He truly is the fourth member
Did
of
you-
our...
Did you see that he tried to give Heather another bite and she was
Yeah.
like, no. Because he was probably like, Will says try it twice. That's what it
Right?
I'm sure that's what happened, Joe.
Wow. Yeah, so that was entertaining. Thanks for everybody listening to our reactions.
Yep.
Since we hope that was entertainment for all of you. We know it was for at least one of you.
Maybe 2.
Hopefully 2, right? Okay. Rating. Out of we're going to keep it nice or depressing?
Out of lightning strikes?
Sure, because we all thought that part was cool.
Yeah.
Better than Butchered Gods. That
Right.
was my other thought.
Yeah.
I'm glad we were on the same page.
That you and I were thinking Butchered Gods?
Yeah. How many dead guys?
How many dead
I
gods?
don't know if there's something wrong with me or something wrong with you two.
I'm just saying. Who says there's anything wrong with any of us?
I say there's things wrong with me all the time.
Lightning strikes. How many?
5.
I knew that was coming. You
That's
didn't have a
good.
least favorite scene.
Honestly, that comes as a surprise to me.
You didn't think he would.
I read that first comic. I'm like, I don't think Pat's going to like this. And I kind of felt bad.
Really?
And I'm like, man, I was really hoping to find a Thor comic that Pat would like too. And so we could all enjoy
Success.
it. And now it's like, he gave it a 5
Yeah, I enjoyed
as
it.
well. As me.
What do you what do you think? What did you think that he would not like? Like, what was it about it?
Young Thor. Because he was
Because he
just
was
too
very
much.
Ga-
He's
very
very
Guy
guy.
Garner.
I got a lot of guy out of him.
Yeah.
Well, he was very much
he's
like
young.
the Thor in the Marvel movies.
The first movie.
No, the first movie he's in. Well, I guess he is kind of whiny and childish in that one a little bit.
Yeah. And that's the only one I
The
really
later
watched.
ones are he's dumb.
Right, so
and
when I
that's
was-
not what I would think.
No, so that's kind of how I pictured him anyway. So it didn't surprise me that
Interesting.
he was acting like that.
That's interesting. So I'll give it a 5. I thought about giving it a 4, but it's one of the favorite things that I've read in like Marvel in the last decade. So,
Yeah, it's really good.
I bought it when it was new. I subscribed to it and actually read it as it came out. So I had to wait, like as the story unfolded. I waited each month to find out the next part. And when you first mentioned liking Thor, when we were planning this, that was the first story that I put on the list. So, yeah, it's always been on there.
Good times.
I expected us all to enjoy it. It's too good. It's too well written. It's like the Sinestro Corps War, right?
Yeah.
Like there's just when something is written so well, it's hard. You're like, okay, even if there are things that I personally don't like or something, you're still going to like. It's just that well done. Mm-hmm. At least if you can appreciate stuff like that.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. All 5s for part 1. Next week, part 2, issues 6 through 11. So that'll be what we read for next week. We get to find out what happens. We find out the origin of Gore, why he has this grudge against gods, and how he plans to end all of them throughout all time.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
Me 3.
You guys have anything else?
Nope.
Well, then, I'm Patrick.
And this is Will.
And I'm Chris, and we are Guys with Issues. And snacks.
And snacks.
Thanks, Christoph. You can catch Guys with Issues wherever you can find your favorite podcasts.
Or check out our website at guyswithissues.com, where you can listen, find reading lists, follow along, and get to know us better.
Send us emails to longbox@guyswithissues.com and tell us your thoughts or send us suggestions on what we should read next. We would love to hear from our listener.
Hot dog water.
Got wiener water on his pocket knife.
Wiener water on my pocket knife.
That's a country song. I got wiener water on my pocket knife, bonfire tonight.